Thank you for tuning in to No Flag Radio. I'm your host, P. Back. Today we talking about the story of our brother Kevin Battle and the white supremacist murderer Mark Jabben, and where this case is going to be going. So I know I said I was going to do a live sometime today. I was trying for it, really trying for it, but I was in the gym today, you know what I'm saying? And the gym just took all my time away, you know what I mean? Talking about 4 hours in that bitch. So, you know, I'm doing full body. Every day is full body. So it's, you know, one day on, another day off, one day on, another day off, one day off. So it's 3 days a week and then 2 days off, 3 days every other day, and then 2 days off type shit. So this is the end of the 3 day shit today. So shit is just wild. I'm the only motherfucker in there looking right though. I bet I'm the only motherfucker in that gym looking right though. Shit. I'm saying it's only a few anatomically correct motherfuckers in that bitch. Your boy P is one of them. You understand? Excuse me, got the post-workout shake burps in this bitch. Urban in this bitch. But on to the story. So this story has been one I've been following on my channel about our brother Kevin Battle. And one thing about these types of stories that have happened out here, like his story and the story of Amber Geiger, I look at them because they speak to what type of climate is going to be set out in this area of, you know, like police being able to run up into your house and kill a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, and get away on some shit. Or white people being able to kill you in cold blood and get away type shit, right? That's why these cases are important. So my objective is to always get in front of the potential jury pool. Get out in front of them with a pro-black narrative. I don't want to cloud up the narrative space with too much crosstalk about the case. You see, I want it to be pointed things. I just want to speak real quickly on the Mark Jabben character, the Neanderthal who killed our brother Kevin Battle, because a few days ago, the info came out that he got caught up shooting his girlfriend in a violent altercation, which further shows he's violent and no doubt should be charged and sentenced for murder in the case of Kevin Battle. So here's the story. Let me get his mug up here. Punk ass motherfucker. There you go. So, a Fort Worth man who claimed self-defense in the fatal shooting of his neighbor in March was arrested Friday after he shot his girlfriend in the shoulder, police say. Mark Jabben, 46, was arrested Friday on suspicion of aggravated assault of a family member with a weapon. You see how they soft padded that? That's attempted murder of somebody who's a stranger. She ain't family. See how they already saw padding it? You see what white supremacist society does with the charges with this shit? I'm just want y'all to see this shit. Police were called about 12:30 a.m. to the Metro 7000 apartments near John T. White Road and Interstate I-20. So he basically moved up the street from where the murder of our brother Kevin Battle happened. He moved up the street. John T. White is the street where Kevin Battle lived on and his family. Officers found the woman lying on a bed in an apartment with knots and blood on her. They meant to say with knots on her and blood on her. And she got shot the fuck by this motherfucker. They not keeping it gruesome, but okay. The woman said Jabben hit her twice before shooting her, according to police. Jabben, who said the shooting was an accident, remained in Tarrant County Jail on Wednesday. His bail was set at $4,000. And then they go in and try to, again, swing the conversation around to Kevin Battle again. You see how they're trying to, again, put some narrative out there about Kevin Battle again, over and over again, and trying to front like the police narrative and the police account of Kevin Battle's situation is right and just. You see what they doing. So I'll read it. It says, in March, Kevin DeAndre Battle, 57, was found dead on Jabben's porch. Not found dead, he was murdered with multiple gunshot wounds to his head. Police say the shooting occurred after Battle tried to enter Jabben's front door, which we now know is false. We talked about the forensic evidence coming down showing that the police were liars. And the DA contacted the family and explained that the police were lying. Okay, I want y'all to just keep up. Police say the shooting occurred after Battle tried to enter Jabben's front door as the two argued over a comment Jabben made to Battle's grandson earlier that day. He was using racial epithets. He was racially antagonizing a child. Okay, and he had been racially antagonizing Kevin Battle. They're not going to try to frame it up right in media, but I'm going to give my motherfucking angel on the shoulder way to say what's really going on. And not running from truth. Something about white supremacist society, they can't be in the same room with truth. But motherfucker, we out here and we gonna motherfucking surround your ass. Us truth tellers, motherfucker, and we gonna ask you, then what, bitch? Then what, ho? Understand? Jabben told police he shot Battle in self-defense. He was not charged in the shooting. More than 5,400 people have signed a petition demanding that the district attorney prosecute Jabben in Battle's death. They put that one little sentence up there. Yeah, so I'm going to put the link to that petition up there so y'all can go ahead and sign that petition because this is what we on. So, get his funky ass face off. I don't want to have his face up here next to mine, man. Punk ass motherfucker. Get him off my shit. So this just gives precedence, y'all, to what we've been saying all along in New Black Media. This guy, Mark Jabben, has a violent history and a violent present. Okay? So I'm like, okay, now the puzzle pieces are starting to fit even better than how they were already motherfucking fitting as far as the facts are concerned. All kind of tripwires go off as more and more of his dirt come up. With Kevin Battle's situation, any jury looking at this case, because that's what his family is really pushing for at this point, is for a lawyer to see those charges come down and for that jury to be in effect. That's what we out to see. Any jury can reason that a man who beats up his own girlfriend, a girl, he beats up some girl he knows and then shoots her, a girl, would also easily deal with a man in a similar animalistic, no concern for human life sense, at the least. You see? And with Kevin, Mark Jabben's situation was, I can't beat him up like I can beat my girlfriend up, like I've been beating up on my girlfriend. Because he probably been beating up on the chick. Even when Kevin was alive, Mark Jabben been beating up on that girl. And that's important to note. I'm going to explain why in a bit. But beating up on his girlfriend day in, day out, I'm sure. You know, if you ever been around a motherfucker that beat girls, this shit is, it's day in, day out, she getting beat. Yet when it comes to a man, an older man, as a matter of fact, god dang, Kevin Battle had him by about a decade. When it came to a man, he got handled and he felt some kind of way that he held on to. As y'all know the story. So he took it out on his grandchild and started assailing his grandchild and as a form to bait him, as a pathway to baiting him, right? And a jury is going to clearly see, like, okay, any man willing to shoot his own race of woman, because they both white. Any man attempting to murder his own race of woman. I'm just going to say it plain, no plan. That kind of man is also even more willing to murder a black person who he's been calling him and his family niggers. Right? Okay, so I know the magazines and the media and the CBS News and all this shit out here, they're not saying that he was calling this man and his family niggers, right? But that's what's happening, right? A racist white supremacist on a murdering mission. That's what we dealing with. Like I said, Kevin Battle's a guy that this dude, Jabben, been baiting into fights, baiting into arguments, baiting into confrontations over and over and over and over again. That's something we can't miss. Mark Jabben has a problem with being a fucking shit starter. So I need a potential jury pool out in Dallas to hear my words when I say this. The fact that Mark Jabben can beat his own girl and shoot her so animalistically, it's a direct stencil of the malice with which he operates and which he operated with when attacking Kevin Battle. Constantly harassing this man, constantly harassing his family, constantly racially antagonizing this man. And then he shot him, then he shoots him, right? And in cracking up the police booty hole and their derelictism on this case, you know, in terms of Jabben, you know, beating on his girl, back to that in a way, I'm sure there have been noise complaints. You know what I mean? Whenever they've been around each other for them fighting and arguing and shit. I'm sure they've been police being called on their little situation. And the Fort Worth police has a choice to make, because with Kevin Battle's situation, the community is asking for those records that the police took at those previous altercations with Mark Jabben to prove that he's been an aggressor to the Battle family. And the Fort Worth police has been hiding those records. That's where we're standing right now with the police. They're hiding records. Okay, that's suspicious activity number 1, Exhibit A on that shit, right? People have been pressing for these documented calls and documented altercations where they got to write something down when they come out. Understand? So now we saying the police ain't document those previous calls and interactions between the two at all. This is where we at right now, vibrationally speaking. This is what we've been pushing and making a point about out here. All right, so understand that. These calls will show Jabben has a long history of being a menace to the Battle family. That's something we're looking at. And the family lawyer, once whoever they are is decided, they should be looking at that shit off the jump, right? We want to look at what history of violence he had with his girlfriend. All right, that is also going to be key. It's just showing precedence for violence and unlawful, unruly, animalistic behavior from Mark Jabben. Then we're hot on his motherfucking trail, in my eyes. Because what that'll do is it'll force the DA, Sharen Wilson, who's the person who presented the forensics to the family, like, look, the police are lying. It's going to force her to hold the Fort Worth Police Department fully accountable for producing other records. You understand? Like, since they already on the hook for bullshitting, only thing standing between them being met with a hand of justice across their back is the family's trying to get a lawyer. And, you know, to our brother Kevin Battle's a significant other, to Lydia Adams, we send you our strength, sister. Our strength go out to you. You know what I mean? And we know you trying to get that lawyer game right. We know your sacrifice that you're making to get it. And, you know, we all are going to try to do what we can do to try to help contribute to you seeing that end and to that end becoming a reality for you. But what it presses the DA to do, this whole situation of, showing precedence for this Mark Jabben being violent, it's going to force the DA to hold the Fort Worth police accountable for those records, pulling up those previous records, and not just those records, but a whole motherfucking slew of other cases throughout the city. I thought of it like this, like, hold up, if they just saying, we throwing records to the wind and we just not taking records, what about all the other cases in the city where there's supposed to be records made, like a written record of an altercation? All of that means to me that the Fort Worth Police Department is slipping the fuck up. Like, what the fuck is really going on, Fort Worth Police? We may just be looking at a race-based reporting style of incidents in Fort Worth. Like, if somebody white had an incident in the city and the police get called, all the recording, the dates, the signatures, all that shit is in place. All the licenses get took, everything else that what happens at an incident report, it gets done. It's very thorough, right? Yet, if somebody black has an incident, the records mysteriously don't get documented. This is what I'm looking at, right? This is some real white supremacist stuff we're dealing with here. I told y'all in my previous video on this case that we're already looking at a police cover-up in this case, in terms of them making up the fact that Kevin's blood and DNA was all in the house, inside of the duplex, rather, of this Mark Jabben character. And that's already 1 point. That's already 1 point scored for any lawyer looking to chew a hole in the Fort Worth police. Forensics came back and it was presented to the family by the DA that nope, the crime lab ain't returned nothing that they talking about. And the police were liars. So, wait a minute. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, now I start connecting dots, you know what I'm saying? And making conjectures about other things. I don't know this shit to be true, but then I start thinking, in the wake of the second shooting that Mark Jabben has committed, this could possibly be racialized even into the police department's rush to activity around certain cases, like with his girlfriend who he just shot. And then, on the other hand, a rush to inactivity when it comes to what happened with our brother Kevin Battle, just black people in general type shit, right? And them documenting the history of calls, and in particular his history of calls to the police, right? The non-recording of those calls, because we're saying, what's with the stalling of those records being released? And we're like, oh, y'all don't got them, Fort Worth police? But a white girl getting beat up prior to this situation, I'm sure that they've been getting noise complaints and shit like that for being noisy while she getting beat on. And this is just my conjecture, right? Because they always try to, in court, they always try to pull up a history of what somebody's activity has been in court. They try to pull up motherfuckers' 5th grade record if they can off any case in court. If you black, they gonna go all the way back to when you was in 3rd grade. If you stole a motherfucking Butterfinger at the goddamn grocery store, some shit like that, they gonna pull all that shit up, right? So I'm saying this needs to be done for Mark Jabben. What that shows is precedence to the type of fuckery somebody will pull if they ever end up doing something else or doing something major like murdering someone like this motherfucker just did. You look at the motherfucker's past history of violence as evidence. You know what I'm saying? And we don't just want to chill while the people who have been hiding from this case, the Fort Worth Police Department, the spokespeople for the Fort Worth Police Department, the people who've been running cover for the white supremacist bias in this case, CBS News out here, these various news outlets out here, right? We don't want to just be chilling where all these entities who've been hiding from the real facts of the case get out in front of media with a lie to angelify a white killer just because the family of the victim hasn't yet procured a lawyer, from my knowledge, right? That's not right. That shouldn't stop the pursuit of justice for an innocent man who was just defending his grandson from a violent grown man antagonizing him and antagonizing the family. Just over and over again type shit, right? And we're the part of media, unlike mainstream, lamestream media, we the part of media that speaks to the investigative work, launching a real investigation. And we want to keep what undergirds the investigatory results so far of this issue at the forefront. Not the little soft padding and sloughing off done by these media entities out here that are biased towards injustice and have a favoritism toward injustice. And, in prefacing the story about Mark Jabben shooting his girlfriend, the media, they, a couple stories, they started off saying, man cleared in shooting a local man is now charged with shooting his girlfriend. Like, hold up. There was a couple stories that started off like that, like in the Google search. They started off, man cleared, and hold up. Cleared, hold up. Man cleared, that is completely wrong. Okay? You see how they try to pre-taint the jury pool, so once Kevin Battle's case make it to trial, there's already this patently false idea that's poisoning people's brains of, well, he was cleared for some reason, right? And that's the bullshit. You understand? It don't mean that he's innocent. It don't mean that the cops weren't in on lying in their reports, omitting forensic evidence in their reports. Police spokespeople covering for the history of the Fort Worth police not taking police records of Jabben's other altercations he started with Kevin Battle. You know what I mean? Which is the shit we looking at right now. You know what I mean? This shit we looking at right now. So you talking about he's cleared? Nah. What this is a blackout in media. It's being blacked out from media, from the police on up to the people who report the news is what's happening. The facts are being blacked out. You see? That's why we saying everybody on the hook. The police that were on the scene taking the report, the spokespeople for the police who said, yeah, this is what happened. There was blood everywhere. It was blood here across the threshold. All these lies, right? Everybody getting put on the hook. I just want to say that. We pressing everybody. And what? We pressing that. So, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I'm dropping. And yeah, don't forget to check out my Teespring. That shit doing it. Shout out to the lady Fireside Chat, Mama D. She bought one of these mugs. The first mug sold under that "Don't harm black people in my presence" motto. Yeah, I'm about to drink some tea right now out of a mug that don't got that logo on it. But you gonna make me want to go get one of them. You know what I mean? Just for the premise of it all. And I'll be putting up some. I didn't do any coupons this month for my store and all that, but I'm gonna throw up some. Last month rather, but I'm gonna throw up some just to, make up for what I didn't drop last month. Didn't drop none last month. Some I guess what do they call release the coupons. I'm gonna re-release a few coupons, some $10 off, $5 off, shit like that, just to show the appreciation for those that watch and that view. You know what I mean? If you catch certain videos, you know what I mean, you'll come up on some savings fucking with your boy P in real life. So, just to show my thanks and appreciation for all those who tune in and be fucking with your boy. Yeah? And that's that. Get it, y'all.